After the dream of the ladder of heaven, Jacob continued to his uncle Laban's place in Paddan Aram in Haran. Finally reaching the place, he saw a well in the distance. 3 flocks of sheep and goats lay in an open field beside it, waiting to be watered. But a heavy stone covered the mouth of the well. It was the custom there to wait for all the flocks to arrive before removing the stone and watering the animals. Afterward, the stone would be placed back over the mouth of the well. So Jacob went over to the shepherds and asked, "Where are you from, my brothers?" "We are from Haran," they answered. "Do you know Laban, Nahor's grandson?" asked Jacob. "Yes, we know him," answered the shepherds. "Is he well?" asked Jacob. "Yes, he is, and here comes his daughter Rachel with his sheep," replied the shepherds. And Jacob said to them, "Look, it is still broad daylight, too early to round up the animals. Why don't you water the sheep and goats so they can get back out to pasture?" But the shepherds answered, "No, we cannot, until all the flocks are gathered together, and then we will roll the stone from the mouth of the well and water the sheep." While he was still talking with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she was a shepherd. And when Jacob saw Rachel, daughter of his uncle Laban, and Laban's sheep, he went over and rolled the stone away from the mouth of the well and watered his uncle's sheep. The other shepherds could continue to wait for all the other flocks to arrive before they water their own sheep, as they had argued. Then Jacob embraced Rachel, and he wept aloud. He told her that he was her cousin, the son of her father's sister Rebekah, and she ran and told her father. When Laban heard the news about his sister's son Jacob, he ran out to meet him. He embraced him and kissed him and took him to his home, where Jacob told him all that had happened. And Laban replied, "Surely you are my own flesh and blood." After Jacob had stayed with him and worked for him for a whole month, Laban said to him, "You should not work for me without pay just because you are my kinsman. Tell me how much your wages should be." Laban had 2 daughters. The older daughter was named Leah, and the younger one was Rachel. Jacob had fallen in love with Rachel, and so he told her father, "I will work for you for 7 years if you'll give me Rachel, your younger daughter, as my wife." And Laban replied, "Very well, I'd rather give her to you than to anyone else. Stay and work with me." So Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, but those 7 years seemed to him like a few days because he loved her. Finally, 7 years passed, and he said to Laban, "I have fulfilled my agreement. Grant me my wife that I may be with her." So Laban invited everyone in the neighborhood and prepared a wedding feast. But when evening came, Laban took his daughter Leah and gave her to Jacob instead of Rachel, and gave his maidservant Zilpah charge over his daughter Leah as her attendant. Jacob slept with his bride that night, not knowing who it was. And when morning came, behold, it was Leah. Thus Jacob ran to Laban and lamented, "What is this you have done to me? Did I not serve you for Rachel? Why then have you deceived me?" And Laban replied, "It is not our custom here to give the younger daughter in marriage before the older one, but wait until the bridal week is over. Then I will give you Rachel, provided you promise to work for me for another 7 years." And Jacob did as Laban had told him. He stayed with Leah until the week was over, and then Laban gave him his daughter Rachel to be his wife, and gave his maidservant Bilhah charge over his daughter Rachel as her attendant. And as agreed, Jacob proceeded to work for Laban for another 7 years. His love for Rachel was abundant, while there was hardly any love for Leah. And the Lord, seeing that Leah was hated, took pity on her and blessed her womb, and she conceived and bore 4 sons, namely Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, while Rachel remained childless. And after the birth of her 4th son Judah, Leah ceased bearing children for a while.